Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, a little late on the opening there. My mic was not working, but I am here. Travis told you. I am your host. Travis told you. No, I'm just your host, Travis. No, Travis told you, but I'm your host, Travis. Let's turn the music down now that I'm here. The GM mode God. Ladies and gentlemen, the GM mode God. I talked about this a little bit on SideQuest. Me and Mr. Musk, we talked about it, and oh, it was a glorious. We got lots of good things. As always, I'm going to shout what's going on here at Geek First. But just this past weekend, we finished our WWE 2K25 stream. And man, let me get out there for the live people here. Let me know we're live, and I hope everyone is doing well on this February 10th, 2025. It does not show. It's some stuff is just such a pain. It goes live some places it doesn't. I don't know. It's just like I should mute that too. My Discord thing's going off. My goodness, social media, you never know what's going to be happening. Let's kill the music that's gone. Let's get rid of the starting soon because we are live now. And yeah, today just going to be a little bit of a, people said they want those evergreen topics. Well, you're getting those evergreen topics, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting those today, and I guess not tomorrow. And then soon in February, I will be doing what is it? It's not showing up anywhere on my phone, so that's or on my computer. That's great. In February, I think end of February, I have to take a look and see when it's officially starting. But yeah, it's nowhere awesome. It's where, what the fuck is that? That makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know. Can't share on social media and whatnot. That's great. Open live video. Does that count? No, who knows? Social media is just a mess. So I'm just gonna drop the live now. My goodness, I apologize. I'm not showing up my stuff. It's great stuff. Anyways, very great unprofessional way to start the podcast, but here I am. Very much. Let me look into the future here. Because March Madness, I think, starts. Okay, so it's not till March, but March I'm going to be doing my March Madness where I'm going to put 32 actors together, and I'm going to make the list. I'm still going to probably take some input from you guys, but I'm going to make the list, and then you two are all going to vote on it, and you all too. All you patrons are going to vote on it till we're down to the two, and we're going to crown who's the best actor currently. Not of all time, because I don't feel qualified for that. There's still tons of stuff that I haven't seen. So I'm going to say currently. I think I'm going to put in like the last 10 years. Like, that's going to be the barometer of performances, right? Like who nowadays still are they up to snuff, So that's gonna be lots of fun. And then later on this week, I will not be live on the Thursday. Thursday is our After 9 NFL Fantasy edition, so obviously it's not for all the patrons. Like I guess you want to join, but it's for the draft deal because that's where the conversations, the fun is. We're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about the football fantasy draft season. I get to fucking dog on Kirkland big time. Even if you're not there, if you're not a football fan, tune in for like the first 5 to 10 minutes where I just get to roast Kirkland. I can't wait. I've been itching to do this, so I can't wait for that. And then we're gonna talk about prestige because all of us there's different pools, right, of winners, losers. We're gonna talk about the prestige. That was Maddie's pick. We're gonna talk about Tusk. That was Kirkland's pick. Then we're gonna talk about the replacements, and I'll reveal why I chose that because I won the playoff pool. Maddie has got so many pools going on. But yeah, me and Dylan just did SideQuest yesterday, which was fantastic. That's on the feeds right now. Check it out. It's me and Dylan talking about a bunch of stuff, but primarily Resident Evil 6. We talked about that over an hour. I said it already on that cast. I could talk about that for hours. Such an interesting game. A game that I'd only played a little bit but jumped off. So yeah, great SideQuest. Probably my favorite SideQuest me and Dylan have done in a minute. The other stuff was good too, but just that brunt of the conversation was good. And then tomorrow on the schedule right now, it should be Weekly Geek. We're going to see because, of course, this is how it fucking goes, right? Unusual. The show's an hour, so if you're a patron, you can ask a question. If you need to ask a question, it's not a patron, then you gotta send a super chat because I only got time to steamroll through this. But I'll go on this quick little rant here. All the times, like next week, we record the flashback episode. This is all for Patreon content, right? And we try to do some doubles back to back just because it's hard to record them one day a week, so we do doubles, right? So we got the Resident Evil retrospective starting, so we're doing the first live action movie and the first animated movie, and then later on that week we're doing the Dolph Lundgren Punisher and then the flashback episode. Now, if you're a Patreon producer like Aaron Braden, Apo Darkness, Jack Grant, Superbad Mike, God Loves Me 69, aka Norman Vias, Hidalgo, Lenny Kravitz, Cocktail Clay, John with no H, Sam Green, and John with an M. If you subscribe The stuff we record, you get it right away. All the Patreon, because all the other stuff, the Patreon stuff, we have a whole year plan of, okay, you get this episode this month, this episode this month. If you're a producer, you just get it all right away. So it's a huge perk right there. So next week, you're getting like 4, maybe 5 episodes. But those weeks, the weeks where we're super busy, I guarantee you some massive news will break. But like last week with Kirkland and Dylan, or like this week with myself and Dylan, it's like news is pretty light. And there's like little rumor stuff. We can always talk about anything, but we try to just like have at least something good, a main topic to talk about for Weekly Geek, so it's worth doing, right? Especially even just numbers wise with downloads, right? But that's how it'll go. The weeks that we're busy with doing the group recordings, I'll have tons of news on Travis told you. The weeks where it's Weekly Geek, nothing. Like especially this week. Perfect time. I'm doing an evergreen topic today, and then Thursday, as I was saying, I will not be live. You'll get a Travis Told You episode on the Friday morning, late Thursday night for Wuthering Heights, which I will talk about here in a second because Mike has a question. So yeah, it's not going to be live because I'm going to be seeing that later because we got the football after night, and then after that I go see it, and that's going to be a late showing, and then I'm off Friday, so that's where I'll be hanging out with the family because it's here in Canada. I don't think this is America. In Canada, we got Family Day, so it's a 4-day weekend, so I'll be hanging with the family doing stuff, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, lots of good stuff. If you like what we do, subscribe to Patreon. We're putting more content out than ever. Get episodes ad-free early, 4 different tiers. Go check them out. Golden Geeks voting will be starting soon, and the regular Golden Geeks, so there you go. Fine. There's 2 quick hits I'm going to pull up here. Both have to do with Mike. One being Mike, our patron, and one being Mike Flanagan. Because I almost had this in the news, but I was going to skirt it because I was like, oh, well, I want to do the movie. The main topic today, the evergreen topic, is we're going to look at the whole schedule, and kind of like I did for the patrons, you got my cast where you got to see my method of how I picked my top 10 movies for the year for Mike's draft, right? I'm going to do the same thing, but in the bomb thing, or even with the MCU, like top MCU projects to walk through for Doomsday, it's going to be like that. So that's where for me, I'm going to take a look and see, okay, what has the potential, what's like a lock, and then what has the potential. Mike, I saw you sent a list. I've not read the list. I'm not going to read it because I don't want to sully my thoughts or anything like that. The entirety of the first Scream film will be screened or streamed tonight on TikTok on the Scream movies. Wow, that's interesting. So what was I going to say? Let's see. That's finally working, that link. My God. Jeez Louise. Yeah, so I didn't have this because I want to cover that. Who knows how long that could be? That could be half an hour, that could be 20, that could be a full hour. But I'm going to do 2 things quickly here. So at least I'll talk about this because it's a quick hit. Originally, I had in the news where Mike Flanagan is doing, also he's doing Exorcist. Scarlett Johansson's the lead of that. And then I had a few conversation things, but can't remember who the kid is. Was someone not of note, but someone that's done some stuff. But then they've added Diane Lane, they've added Lawrence Fishburne, and there was somebody else, but really good cast that's forming up for The Exorcist. I think that'll make it stand out. That's something The Exorcist needs, because not only was that last Exorcist movie not a good, not great, wasn't a great movie. I actually didn't mind it more. I think a lot of people hated that movie. I didn't hate it. I understood why some people didn't like it. Oh, did my cord survive? Okay, good. I bumped it, and sometimes it's the smallest, whatever. Oh, look at that. So here we go. I'm getting lots of news off the handle here. The Mummy. Oh, they're just calling it A New Mummy right now. Releases May 19th, 2028. Original main cast is expected to return. Okay, we got a date. So 2 years from now. Can't wait, right? So what was this? What was the newest one? 2020. Fuck, what was the newest? Did it come out 2025? I just want to know the box office. 2023. Okay. It's already been 3 years since The Exorcist? My God. The newest one, that's crazy. That made what, 137 million. It's still a hit though. My point is that I think with both with Mike Flanagan and The Exorcist, it's like they need a hit. Flanagan's filmography, I loved Life is Chuck, or Life of Chuck. What was the other one? Oh, I love Doctor Sleep, Gerald's Game. But I feel like his theatrical stuff, Doctor Sleep, Life of Chuck, doesn't have a great track record of succeeding, and the Exorcist movies like have an okay track record of succeeding. They both need this, so I think this cast is forming up really well. Why I'm talking about this, because I was like, oh, I don't know if that's enough for a big juicing, right? This just came out now. Let's see. Okay, Fraser and Reich revised officially confirmed. Great. Mike Flanagan is set to write and direct a film adaptation of Stephen King's The Mist for Warner Brothers. Story follows a group of townfolk locked in a grocery store after thick, mysterious fog emerges that hide its deadly creatures. So here's the thing. One, if he's doing right now, he did the Carrie show. I'm sure he directed an episode, but he's a showrunner, or at least he's producing that for Amazon. He's directing Exorcist, and they announced this. One, I guess I can wait and see till Clayface, but James Gunn, you couldn't wait like a little bit so we could have got Mike Flanagan, right? You couldn't wait like to direct that movie. You couldn't wait maybe another year to get that happening. So that's one. That's a strike against DC and James. So, two, I think this is a bad idea. Now, because I see this all the time with even Harry Potter, like even Carrie that he's doing right now, right? Is like, why are you remaking this? We already got one. I get that, right? And Carrie, I do understand. I understand a lot of people's critiques on all of them, right? When it's like, why would you be making this? And then they go X, Y, and Z, and I go, okay, I do understand that portion, but what, like, there's always a new audience that's going to find it, and it doesn't take away the old one. It's still there. It's still fun, right? The thing with this is, the Fog came out. When did that Fog come out with Thomas Jane, right? Which I think is actually a very good movie. I've not seen it in a long time. The Mist. Sorry, other way around. The Mist, that was 2007. Yeah. I remember it being a very good movie. I think I've only seen it twice. I do need to rewatch it again. Maybe we do a retro for that time there. I think they hit on a lot of great stuff, right? Paranora, I can't remember that actress's name, but the whole religion storyline in there. There's some great stuff and great performances too. I don't think Thomas Jane is like an all-star actor, but I think he plays that role well. April saying The Mist rocks, brutal movie. Yeah, I remember both those things. Like I said, I haven't seen April probably at least in like 12, 15 years, which now before when I used to say that, I'm like, oh, what's a whole life? Being 33, I'm like, that's not even my whole life. When I say 15 years ago, I was just like after I was like graduated high school. There's also very missed TV show, missed TV show. Right, Mike? I forgot they did that. That seems like an odd. I could see how you could kind of as like a mini series. Maybe it was that, but even then, like that's a tough stretch. But I think the issue here is for me if you've seen The Mist, everyone knows the movie and they know the ending. I feel like The Mist is one of those movies that even if you haven't seen it, you've probably heard of the ending, right? It's to the point where Stephen King looked at and said, and they changed the ending to something that is, like April said, brutal. And it's fantastic. Like it is an all-star. I don't know if I could put up there, but I think I could make a case for if someone said, hey, this is a top 10 movie ending all time. I don't think I could fight you. I could be like, I could see all the cases because it is not, it's just not heartbreaking. It's just a very realistic ending. It's a full circle ending. There's multiple things that are full circle about it. It's a crazy ass movie, but also ending. And that's where to me, it's like King said, oh, this is better than the book. I don't think Flanagan's going to do that ending. I just feel like, and it's not one of those things too, where the technology has advanced so much where it's like, okay, I guess you could see like the deadly creatures in The Mist, right? But that's not the point of The Mist. At least for me, it was kind of what's out there in the buildup. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to fight these things, right? So I just don't see where they can go. With Carrie, it was like, it's been a long time. Effects, I can see that. Even as a TV show, I can kind of go, I can see how that could work and you could flesh out some things, right? Because I like Carrie, but there's some things that are really sudden in that movie, right? Even to my, the lesser one with Harry Potter, there's nothing you can do there, but then I can say, well, that's money related, right? That's on my business cap of, well, they want to make a lot of money and they know if they remake the movies, they'll probably go bad. So let's do a show. The Mist, I don't think has a big enough audience that, hey, it's going to guarantee us a bunch of money. So I don't know about that. And I don't know what can be approved upon other than, like I said, sure, maybe you can get like Tom Hiddleston to play a dad. Yes, Tom Hiddleston is better than Thomas Jane, but Thomas Jane isn't bad in that movie. That's the thing where it's not like, oh, it had a great ending, but the movie's so. I've not watched in a while. I'm going to take April and Mike's word, and other people too. I just feel like it comes up as like a very underrated Stephen King movie, right? Because I don't think it even did that amazing. I feel like it was a very much a cult hit. I feel like it went to DVD right away. Like, yeah, 13 to 18 million, 57 million. So what? They made like probably a profit, maybe, but still, it's just like, it feels like a cult hit that you saw after the fact. But even then, yeah, only 57, like not even breaking 100 million, right? We just talked about Exorcist, whatever, Deceiver or whatever. Like, that's making 137. So it's interesting. I don't think that's a good idea. In my opinion, if I was his agent, it's like, I know you love Stephen King stuff. Find something else. Like, I will watch it. Don't get me wrong. I love Flanagan. He's one of my, like, for current day, like this general, like maybe we'll do a March Madness next year of directors. Maybe we will do that. But for the current generation of directors, easily one of my favorite. Probably my Mount Rushmore right now for the four the current people that started. Like, I don't know. I'd have to look at the era, right? I just don't know what can be, unless he does have some sort of different take on it. Okay, we'll see. But even then, you can't do this ending that I just feel like a lot of people are going to walk on back. Well, that was lesser than, right? And I feel like the only reason you want to do a remake is you can do something completely different or better than, or money, right? And I just don't know if the money is there for that. So, yeah, I guess we'll see. Well, he's doing another project. Excited to see that cast. Like, it's on the nose. I wonder who they get for that religious lady. You can't get the person that played Bev Keane. I know that's the route to go, but oh, that's the other person that joined Exorcist is Chiwetel. Fucking love that Chiwetel, man. This last year really reminded me. I feel like after feels like 12 years. I don't know what happened. 12 Years a Slave comes out, and who did he lose Best Actor to? That was McConaughey, right? You could make a case. I could go for either one. Really, I think McConaughey was great. I think Chiwetel is also great. It's not like me with its Fassbender versus Leto. Fassbender should have fucking took that like easily, in my opinion. I think Leto's performance is good, but not Fassbender good. Where it's like, and I get why he probably didn't win because it is a tough performance, and it's a there's no sympathy whatsoever for the slave owner, but he makes you hate this fucking guy so much, like a top tier, like, you're gonna hate me after this movie performance, you know? And Leto's, to me, it's like it was good. There's some heartbreaking stuff there, but I don't think it was Academy Award worthy. But anyways, 12 years later it happened, and Chiwetel's a thick guy that's been around in a bunch of stuff, and then that happens, and it felt like, okay, he's gonna blow up, be a bunch of stuff. He did blow up in a way of like he was in a lot more mainstream stuff, but not in the way that I wanted. Like Doctor Strange, okay, that made sense as like a step, but Venom, some of these other movies, I don't know, man. But last year, him being in Life of Chuck, he was great in that. And then he was also like, and I'm a big defender of this movie. 2 years ago, Bridget, or was it 2 years ago, or was it last year? I think it was, yeah, it was last year. Bridget Jones' Diary, the fourth one, like, it's not as like rom-com as you think. Like, there's some heart in there, there's some cheese in there, but like, he's really good as this like teacher who, like, he's trying to date Bridget Jones, and it's obviously a difficult situation because she's lost her husband. So it's this back and forth. She's also her son's teacher. So, but he just brings like a lot of like heart to that role, and he's really good. Mike kind of wasted him, absolutely wasted him. I even think in Doctor Strange that role's not even meaty enough for Chiwetel Ejiofor. Like, if it was, this is the I thought it was, and even then, right? You look at Loki, you could argue, hey, Thor is going to be your introduction, Tom, and then you're going to be in Avengers. You're going to be in Thor 2. Oh, great. But Thor is a great, like, that's a fantastic performance and role for Tom Hiddleston. Chiwetel in Doctor Strange is like, it's fine, right? A lot of things. That's why I know people have Doctor Strange high. I don't, because there's that's fine. The Mads Mikkelsen stuff is fine. Performances are good, but they just kind of waste them. I think it's just trippy. People like Benedict, and there's a cool twist at the end. So I get that, right? That's fine. Have your top 10. Do whatever you want. But for me, this is a guy that has, whether it's his choice or, again, you get what you get, right? There's sometimes people just don't book you for stuff, and if he's just doing what he can get, then that makes sense. I'm just happy to see him in some things, and I would love it if he becomes a Flanagan guy. He could be the fucking lead in The Mist. Like, he could be the dad, right? He could be do a phenomenal job of that. So Chiwetel Ejiofor, yeah, I really love that actor, and I'm excited by that. I just don't think he's a pretty solid scar to, yeah, I barely remember, Mike. I'll take your word for it. I watched that Lion King movie once and then I left it be. But they should. Why didn't they let him sing Be Prepared? I'm still hung up on that. But and then Mike asked. Speaking of Mike, he did ask. He has two questions, like I said, or his list for the box office. I'm not going to look at that yet because I'm going to look at it after the fact. I don't want to have anything. Same way I didn't look at like people's top tens big time in the draft. I didn't want to be swayed too much. I saw like one thing on your list, Mike. I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely have that too. Let's see here. Of course, it's gonna show me that. Where is this thing here? All my social media stuff sucks today. It's just like it's loading in a weird way. Even now, it's not even like bringing up like that's odd. Let's see here. Yeah, so Mike, you asked, with reviews and reaction, Wuthering Heights are out, what are your final expectations for the movie? What does it sit at Rotten Tomatoes? Last time I saw it was like a 70, right? Let's take a look here. Yeah, still 70. What's the reviews though? How many is the reviews? 86, so it's probably gonna bounce around there. What are my because with those reviews, it's tough. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying I know I've already seen a bunch of this adaptation is. I don't give a shit about that. Like I get it, but that's the point of adaptation. If you want the full adaptation, read the book. I think it's different too when it's something that's never been done before. There's lots of versions of Wuthering Heights. It's what I talked about with that trailer when people are memeing on like this and this. Look at how sexualized it is, and Charlie XCX is doing the album. Like they're all like there's so many fake outrage posts about when this trailer came out of like this is not Wuthering Heights. Yeah, you know why? Because if they just made Wuthering Heights straight up, that movie would fucking bomb. If I was talking about my top 10 movies that could bomb in 2026, Wuthering Heights would be there, depending on the budget, right? But if let's say it was the same cast, Margot, Jacob, and then Emerald, who like gets a pretty penny as a fucking Oscar winner now, it's going to be a bit more pricey. It's going to bomb. You need the lush, you need the lavish, and I want this. I think it was just a couple years ago. I think, was it, I can't remember. I was going to say Florence, but then I thought it was maybe Emma McKay. Somebody of note, like, did a TV miniseries or something like that, and it's like, it's there. Like, there's so many. It's like the Odyssey, right? But the same thing. Why I don't care. Like I just learned about this too. The whole like fake outrage about Lupita Nyong'o playing some character that I guess has been white in the Odyssey, which is like I don't know, mythological. The word is myth in the fucking like lineage. I don't give a shit. Like even to a degree, that's not as bad. Like when Mike and Clay bring up the languages, I understand that as a bug. But like, if that doesn't bug me, like the whole Lupita thing's not going to bug me at all. Like that's the thing where it's like Nolan's going to do his Nolan stuff, the Odyssey, so people actually go see the Odyssey. Emerald's going to do her Emerald stuff to go see that, right? I do expect though, for me, it probably to rank third out of them because I know April said she's not going to see in theater. And she brought up a point. I don't know if I agree it's going to be that way, but when she said she doesn't like the very old age Victorian type of love movies and whatnot. Me either. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. Like Pride of the Prejudice, anything Keira Knightley's doing, that's not my bag either. Yeah, the Lupita controversy is dumb. Yeah, it is. It's just people being like mad about stuff, right? But it's like if no one wants to do that, I'm gonna trust Nolan whatever he does because I want, like I said before, I want to see Nolan's Odyssey. I don't want to just see the Odyssey. I want to see Nolan's Odyssey. Same thing with. I think they've been smart. They could have hit on this more of them saying like this is Emerald Fennell's interpretation of the book instead of adaptation. I think that's fun because I think we've all read stuff, and I think it's almost like it's a nice way of saying it's her fan service of the book, right? Or like fan fiction of the book, and that's fine. Like again, that's what this movie's tracking at. What it keeps going up. At first, it was like 20, 25, that's 30, and then it's like 35 to 45. That's a good thing for movies. This is a rated R like romantic drama too, right? So I do expect that it might be my third ranked, and I think it's tough because Saltburn and Promising Woman. Promising Woman is a better movie than Saltburn. That is the better one. That is her best movie. That she's only 10-2, but like that I can say is to me a great movie. I get there's some people have issues with it, but I don't. Saltburn, I definitely understand people's issues, and I can understand more like a negative score. With Promising Young Woman, I feel like that's more of just like the choice that happens with Cassie at the end. That's a personality thing that like, that's just what it comes down to, right? Where Saltburn does have some things you could check against it, right? But I would rather watch Saltburn more than Promising Woman because it's a fun movie for the most part, right? Promising Woman can get very heavy, but a great performance by Carey Mulligan. I don't know if I think this is going to be a great performance for Elordi, which is great because in Saltburn he is great, but it's not. he has to kind of be the straight man to Barry's, the punchline guy, right? He has to kind of sell for him. So I think it's gonna be fun to see Emerald giving him that, like the salty seductress role. What I'm expecting, if this movie, and I've given both Emerald's movies a 10, Mike, so that's high standard. If this movie is a 7, I'm happy. I don't know about the chemistry. I've said this before. It's like the same thing as like I haven't seen it completely yet in these trailers. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad, but it just hasn't. I even felt like Jacob Elordi and Barry had more chemistry, based on the trailers, right? Like, I don't know. I know some people in some reviews talk about them being miscast. I know people said that with Margot, and again, it's such like a dicey role to walk. Like, Margot is still a young woman. She's still a fucking, you could say, is she the most gorgeous woman in the movie? Yes. I would argue that Wolf of Wall Street is one of those, hey, has anyone looked better in a movie? No, than her. But the idea of like this person supposed to being a very young kind of doe-eyed person, it's tougher when not only, it's not, I don't even think it's her age for people. I think it's because she's been around for a while now, right? It's like that should maybe have been a new young starlet. But if I watch the movie, the chemistry's there, that's not going to matter. I'm looking for the visuals. I'm looking for some Emerald crazy stuff. I'm looking to feel the love, So that's what I'm expecting, Mike. It's a 70, kind of around there. I bet it will have a scene that I could love, and that could bump it to an 8. And maybe I'll be a 10er. Maybe because, again, my scores are based off of a bit of critique, but then also a bit of just enjoyment. And it's that together, right? Those scores are different. So I'm still excited. I don't really care what anybody says. Like, even this is the thing, like with Emerald Fennell, I still think one day she's cooking a movie that's going to get a solid 20 to 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I feel like with Emerald, with her style, even if I don't love it, I feel like I'm always going to enjoy something about it. So yeah, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna like it. But we'll see. Super Mike says, and it makes people who have legitimate hesitations look bad for the Odyssey. 100%, right? Because you all kind of get lumped together. And I didn't mean to lump you guys together. I was just using it for my example of like, adaptation stuff doesn't bug me, right? In that sort of sense of, okay, in Wuthering Heights, they're gonna be fully naked and R-rated sex scenes. That's not in there, right? There's these big visuals and these locations and these outfits, big strawberries. That's not in there. That's fine. I think where you come to, and same thing with Odyssey, right? Like, I don't care about the voices. I don't care about the look. Sure, for voices, that'd be different. I think for me, it's more different when it's like you adapt with Wuthering Heights and the Odyssey. And even then, too, it's with something like little stuff like Batman the Long Halloween, the animated stuff, right? I'm an example of that, where I think that's a really bad adaptation because they do certain changes and they're not for the better. I understand in the MCU or DCU when they adapt it, it's like, we can't do this one for one because we got a universe. When you're just adapting in an animated form, or like Killing Joke, right? When you adapt it and you make changes and they're much worse, like, to me, like, and I get it, some people might be feeling that with Wuthering Heights. I just say, like, there's so many versions. Why are you feeling this, right? Long Halloween, I got one adaptation of Long Halloween, and I ain't getting that for a long time again. And that movie, not good for multiple assets, in my opinion. So, yeah, we will see. But yeah, no, I know you guys are the same there. I get, and again, completely fine critique. We all have different things that we go, this does bug me for X, Y, and Z, right? So, and same thing. People could say the exact same thing, and I think I'm better with it now. People could have said this exact same thing about me in 2016 when I saw Jared Leto's Joker. You got Mark Hamill, you got Jack Nicholson, you got Heath Ledger, you got so many adaptations. This is something new. I get it, but for me, when I saw that, disgust. And you know what was worse? The performance. Disgust. Like, that was the look. Okay, I could even, you can listen to podcasts before that. I got over. I was like, okay, I will deal with the look and see what we're going to do here. Even if anything, you could just take off the damage, which the director admitted we went too far. That was a mistake. We all fucking knew it. The second we saw that photo, everyone knew it was a mistake. But I said, Jared Leto's a good actor. He's an Academy Award-winning actor. I still think he's going to be a good Joker. And I was actually still fine with it when he got cast. Then the performance happened. Awful. But you could say the same thing, right? Travis, you got so many Jokers, but that bugged me. The same way, Mike, like the voice thing might bug you. The same way for Wuthering Heights, if it is people being very seductress or just very over the top Emerald Fennell, like almost present day stuff, I get that, like that. I understand. The bigger ones are, and that's where it is tough. They try to skirt it when they're like, hey, in the books, they describe Jacob Elordi, like the character's like dark skinned, right? And it's like, Jacob Elordi is not that. And they went with the, oh, well, again, it's Emerald's interpretation. That I understand more if you say, hey, this could have went to an actor of color. Fuck this. I don't care if it's interpretation. Fuck this. I get that, right? I don't have the same hold to the book, but I do understand because that is a form of whitewashing. And if you think I'm a bad person for watching the movie, then I guess I'm sorry. Then I'm a bad person in your book. I just want to see it because it's the Emerald Fennel movie. Like whether this is original or not, like I'm a fan of that director, right? And I don't think it's. I think it's a bit careless, and I think it's a bit foolish. But I don't also think I'm gonna go like with the pitchforks to think like, oh, Emerald Fennel, terrible person, because there's a situation where this movie doesn't get made with Jacob Elordi, like without him or some other people. And don't get me wrong, maybe we'll get another person of color to be that star, but you gotta just make sure their star value is as big as Elordi, right? And Elordi is on the uprise, so we'll see. But yeah, look up for my review there. All right, let's get in this. We got about 40 minutes to break this down because I went too long, and that's why I did not even put the Flanagan top in, because I knew Travis would talk too long, and of course I did. And then the chat, so I was here which one to talk about. So here, I'll quickly go down this list because I was just curious. This is not like a for sure thing, but I just want to bring up what were the biggest bombs or flops of last year. This is from the BBC. So I'm just going to go, and I feel like this is a good way to do it because lots of these movies, we don't have the actual budget for them, right? So to me, it's going to be most of the bigger movies, and it's going to be I gather the budget's this, and I don't think it's going to make that much of a profit. There could be something like, I doubt what happened. But let's say, I'm not even saying Supergirl's on this list. Let's say Supergirl comes out and I think it's going to make 300, and then they reveal, oh, well, actually, it's only a $30 million budget. Well, then it's not a fucking flop, right? So there's some things I'm not going to know. It's just going to be in retrospective what does poorly or underperforms, right? But BBC listed as a top 10, and I think this is like a combination. It seemed mostly box office, some opinion based, but a bit of both, more box office, I think. But number 10, The Smash Machine. I just want to even see what that budget was. And I would say that's where it was kind of like a flop, right? Because let's see, that was, budget 50 million, box office 21. Absolutely. Like even critically what they wanted. So that definitely, yes. Megan 2, yes. Elio, yes. Springsteen, what was the Springsteen budget there? Because again, like to me, like a movie that breaks, well, I guess that depends. It depends. I was gonna say a movie that breaks even to me is not a bomb per se, unless it is like a very expensive movie, because then the market's gonna be even more, right? But Springsteen, that was what? Yeah, budget 55, only made 45, so okay. I Know What You Did Last Summer, same thing. What did that? I didn't know the budgets of some of these. So, and that's where sometimes these bombs or these flops aren't even the ones we think about. Just like last week when I talked about like that the year Smile came out was one of the most profitable. No, like see on this list, I get it. The budget's 18 million, they made 64. It could have been bigger. I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I don't know if I'd put in the top 10. Christie, yeah, that kind of ate it. After the Hunt, I think critically, yeah, that definitely ate it. And I think in box office wise, Mickey 17, yes, that was. Snow White, yes. Thunderbolts, yes. And then they didn't have on this list. I probably would kick out I Know What You Did Last Summer and do Tron. That was another big letdown, right? So what I'm going to do is I will bring them up once I have them, but I'm going to go down all the movies. I'll take a little ad break here. I'm going to take a drink of water, and then we'll be right back. We're back. We are back. So let's do this right now. Let me use my mouse because nowadays, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's this new Mac. I don't know if it's because of my day job. Legitimately, if I use the touchpad on my Mac for too long, this starts to like, maybe it's old arthritis, but literally my pointer finger starts to hurt. I think it's because I've just used it too much, but we'll see. So January, obviously, like I'm not going to include it now, but like we didn't do the box office today, and that's fine. Like nothing too, like Stenhouse was number one, doing good. Like Iron Lung made another 6 million. That's great. Still want to see it, but I don't think I'll get a chance to this week. So I'll have to wait till VOD, but let's see here. 63 made 56. Yeah, like I'm not going to retroactively put that in there, and I wouldn't have said that. I still thought it was going to break maybe 100, maybe 50 million less. That is a bomb there. So let's go past what we've gone right now. Obviously, Some of These Strangers is a bomb, but let's see. Wuthering Heights, no. Crime 101, no. Like for its budget, and if I can't make a list, I'm going to come back around. Okay, so let's put bombs. I'll have to see what the budget of this is, but How to Make a Killing could potentially be there because I saw that trailer and I'm excited. I like the cast, but I don't know if that's gonna like produce. Let's see, How to Make a Killing. Do they got a budget for this yet? Let's see here. Nothing yet. So I just, because that to me is like, if it's like a big budget, then I can put it there. Likely not going to make the list, but we'll see. Let's see. Mike says, I think Tron Ares and Snow White are the biggest number wise. Yeah, I think so for last year, for those lists. I'm kind of surprised people didn't, like that list didn't have Tron Ares. But yeah, I think money wise, the percentage that did do that. So Scream 7. As much as people might think, I think it's what right now tracking for its like second biggest opening all time. We've only gotten one trailer. It's interesting. I guess the word is they're worried about like spoiling stuff and what to show. So they still got really something else, right? That's out in 17 days. Like my tickets are on sale, but no, I don't think so. I think those relatively have like smaller budgets, right? This is one, unfortunately, I think it's going to be in the top 10. I just don't see it pulling numbers, even if she wins the Oscar. The Bride. I think that there's a budget out there rumored, right? Movie budget. There's been rumors of 80 to 100 million. The most like post after that is how the hell did Maggie Gyllenhaal get 100 million for The Bride? Don't get me wrong. Yeah, Scream's not gonna bomb. That's where it's just like people are we're in a bubble, right? And I get that. And I'm not saying there are films and TV shows that I don't like. Fucking Rush Hour 4, right? I love Rush Hour 2. Rush Hour 1 I like. Rush Hour 3 meh. If it was not the situation what was happening right now with Ratner and that whole crew, I would be there seeing Rush Hour 4 in the theaters. That's just one too far with Brett Ratner where I go, and don't get me wrong, there's probably tons of other talented directors that are pieces of shit that we don't even know. Look at all the shit that's come out the last couple weeks. And that's where it's like, but if I actively know this guy, Brett Ratner, and what he's done and what people have admitted to and what he's admitted to, I can in good conscience pay to see that, right? And that's where I'm saying with this, there are a lot of people that I've seen saying that about Scream, but I think that is a bubble thing. With Rush Hour 4, I don't even know if it's a bubble thing. I just don't even know if people are going to go see Rush Hour 4, right? Like that thing where Scream, it's a franchise. Sydney is back. They're going to bring back some of these other people. I think it's still horror movies fare like better nowadays, funny enough, like smaller ones, right? But yeah, that's just a bubble. People like, I'm not going to see it because Melissa. That's fine. I'm not going to, if anyone's not seeing it because of Melissa, great. You do your thing. I'm still seeing it for the review, and I'm still seeing it because I'm curious. If I wasn't podcasting, if it was awfully reviewed, I'd maybe like just VOD it. But unfortunately, I do love the Scream franchise. I got a daughter named after Sidney Prescott. So yeah, Scream's not gonna. But The Bride, 80 to 100 million, is that even gonna make that? Like that movie, I'm excited for it. I love Christian Bale. He's on the fucking list for the 32 March Madness actors. There's no way I'm not including Bale. I do consider Bale. It's my limited knowledge, not seen everything. But when you ask me who's greatest all time, it is Christian Bale. I think he just has the catalog to back that up. So I'm excited. I will be there. I'm seeing Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride. I guess unless it's like a 20, like if it's big time raw and people are saying bad shit, but I'm gonna be there. I don't think it's gonna be that. I just don't even know if that movie can make 100 million. Hoppers is out that weekend. I think that's going to do well. Right now it's tracking 50 to 60. I think it's going to do better than Elio. So I think that could be a breakout hit with the animals and the talking. So The Bride, I think unfortunately it's a contender for now, but let me start making my list. I don't see how I don't know. I don't see that being profitable. I just don't see. It's a weird type of movie, and to me, that's fine. It's like Lisa Frankenstein, or that's what it was called, right? That's a weird movie, but what did Lisa Frankenstein have as a budget? Lisa Frankenstein, and I loved Lisa Frankenstein. Let's see. So that had a budget of 13 million. That's where, in a box office 9, damn. But I loved that movie. Great time. That's where sometimes these very weird movies, that's why I gotta have the lower budgets. 80 to 100 million. I'm glad for the filmmaker that happened. If you're asking me when I'm making this list, though, is it on it? I think unless I can find 10 others, I think that's an absolutely on there. Let's see. Reminders of Him, no Undertone, no. Here's another one. Taylor's not gonna like this. It's not for sure on the list. Project Hail Mary. I talked about this in the Super Bowl one. I I don't want to be that. People have said good things. I like Lord Miller. I love Gosling. You know, not that he needs me to like pay him. He's fine. But like, I want to do well because it's supposedly a great original story. So let's get a great original story in the box office, right? But like, what happened? Let's see, Box Office Mojo. Let's see. Actually, let's go with the numbers. Numbers. Let's do a quick because this will help me with the list overall as well too. 2025 biggest movies. I don't know. When you're on the spot typing, sometimes you're just like, what can my brain conjure here, right? And I think that does good. Yeah, because I can go to the year. Okay, so let's see let's see in this decade what's original in the top 10. Nisa 2, no. I'm sure Nisa 1 was, but still sequel, right? So no, Zootopia, no, After Fire and Ash, no, Lilo and Stitch, no, Minecraft, no, Jurassic World, no, Demon Slayer, no, How to Train Your Dragon, F1, I'm gonna say no. That's backed by a huge billion-dollar corporation brand, maybe trillion, no, and Superman, okay? So nothing original in the top 10. And I'm saying top 10, right? I'm just saying as far as, it doesn't have to be top 10 to be successful, but still. And I actually think it has a pretty big budget. 2024, Inside Out 2, Deadpool, Moana 2, Despicable Me, Wicked, Mufasa, Dune, Kung Fu Panda, Sonic. No, I'm going to go 2023. Barbie, Mario, Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is like the closest you can get, right? I think we've talked about this before because I remember saying that's the closest you could get. Original movies don't always, Mike, you literally took the words from my mouth. So I'll give Mike the points there. Project Hail Mary could be Mickey 17 and 2026. That's exactly where I was going. I just like this original space concept. I've said this too I'll put it on the list right now with Disclosure Day. I don't know if that's going to pull it either. I brought this up with Dylan where it would have been a massive deal. All these aliens and all this stuff going on like maybe 10, 15 years ago. Now it's like people don't give a shit about aliens. Like, and I do, but like stuff comes out about like real life aliens and UFOs. Be like, okay, cool. And they move on to the next TikTok. It's like, we would have killed for that information, right? So I just don't think like it being like, it's one of the greatest stories of this decade. At this time, that doesn't cut it anymore now, right? And like Ryan Gosling's not like box office proof. You know, sure he was in Barbie, but it was Barbie. Look what happened when he was in Fall Guy, right? So that's where I think there's a good shot, and it's Amazon, so they'll be fine, right? They don't need the money, but like if we're just looking at what success stories are and what people will make going forward, I don't know. And even then, like, let's look at The Martian. Very different time, right? But I just want to see what The Martian made. Yeah, 11 years ago. Christ. 11 years ago now. That was, yeah, like no fucking way. Budget 108 million. Box office 630. Not a chance. That is crazy how just even 11 years where I would still count like a book, like in that sense, like an original IP. Crazy how just 11 years ago, like that made, 600, like 400 million away from a billion. Not happening here. I don't think you can redo that. That's good for The Martian though, but I hope I'm wrong. That's lower on the list, but I think it has potential. Let's take a look here at what's next. I lost my place. Okay, Mario Galaxy. That's on the list. No, Mario Galaxy's fine. The drama, depending on how much it costs, it shouldn't cost much. But if it's one of those like indie movies, like I joked about it with Dylan, but like A Complete Unknown and Mari Supreme, with them being like 70 plus million, it's like anytime Timmy's around, you get a higher price tag, eh? So if it's the drama could be honest, I don't think so, but same thing. This is like, what was the budget for Evil Dead Rise? Because I'm looking at Lee Cronin's The Mummy, and I'm seeing what we're dealing with here. 15 to 19 million. I doubt that. I think even Lee Cronin's The Mummy will still be like 50 to 60 million, like a profit, maybe even 40 to 30 to the least. So it could be just a break even, but I think it will still be okay and not like destroy the studio, right? I think they're making it for a good amount of money, not water. I saw the words deep water. I was going to say that. Michael, I don't like, here's the thing, right? Because I know people have talked, like Dylan was in that camp. I don't think there's a chance that it bombs. I think I've said before that I think 600 million is like the minimum. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm overshadowing this big time, but I think that is the minimum. I think if you were to tell me 500, sure, maybe I could get there. I still think it's higher. I did put it lower in my top 10 movie predictions because I just want to play it safe, but yeah, we'll see. Let's see. God is God. Oh, and this is going on the list for show. I talked about this already. Check in multiple things. Cheap plug for our Super Bowl cast. If you didn't listen to that, it's me and Dylan. The main topic was, is Mandalorian going to bomb? I am in this camp. I am in the camp that I think now more than ever it's getting that Thunderbolts Brave New World thing. I think that trailer was very fine, but no one talked about it. In the movie sphere, this has been made a joke. Now, granted, Brent and RGH had made a point like all of us are, he didn't feel as bad, but he's like, all of us are already seeing it, right? I've said this before. If I didn't have kids, I would not be seeing this. I let the boys review this. This does not look good to me. Even some of the images they show, it's like, this is like visually does not look good. But for me, and then I counter with, okay, if that teaser, also it's not for us, right? Because we know it's coming. Who's it for? Like, who did that sell in a 5-hour broadcast where you're hit with ad after ad and Bad Booney and the football, all this stuff, the trophy presentation, Sam Darnold, congrats, Kit Kirkland, suck it. Are you going to remember the Clydesdale spoof Mando thing? I don't think so. I think I'm not. I'm gonna say it's DOA on for a blockbuster, because you might say if I say Mandalorian's DOA, you're gonna be like, oh, it's Travis. Like, you think it's making like 100 million? No, I'm saying for a blockbuster, I think it's DOA. I don't think it's having the pull. And as I brought up before, I think all those cute things like, oh, Grogu, that's gonna go to Yoshi, my man. Like, Yoshi's gonna suck up all that cute money from the kids. So yeah, I think Mando's gonna bomb, and I think it's going to be a very interesting situation. And I've said before, I still could see it even hitting 6 million or being a profit. I'm not 100% locked, but now I'm at like a 75%. It's happening, especially too if that comes out and it's reviewed very like manly. That then I'm boosting up. I'm saying it's 75. Yeah, I'm thinking Mando and Grogu is going to bomb for what they want to. Granted, I'm not sure what the budget is. I think the last few seasons were more expensive, but I think they're just putting this out of, hey, we'd make no money from this or no extra money from this on Disney Plus. Let's get people like myself to pay for it extra that already have Disney Plus. That's it, just to make money. The real, like, this is a test, but the real test is also Starfighter, right? But this is still a test, because if this does well, then they'll keep making more of these. If it does poorly, then that's going to change a lot of the landscape. So, Masters of the Universe, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what the budget is of this. We don't know, but I think Master Universe. I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago when me and Taylor were talking about it, the Travis Taylor told you. I think it's just it's of a bygone era. As much as, hey, good for the Muppets, getting watched by over 3 million on ABC and Disney Plus. That's great. I watched me and the kids. We enjoyed it, but I can fully admit that lots of people my age don't fucking care about the Muppets, right? I still do. I've not met anyone my age in person, in real life, that cares about He-Man. Like, and I have a wide strike zone of friends like that were from high school and after the fact. No one cares about He-Man. And I just don't think the youth is going to care about He-Man. We're not gonna, maybe the older generation, but I think what's being proved now, that look at Iron Lung and other stuff, the Minecraft, the younger generation, like, there's this kind of idea of, the young people, they don't appreciate cinema. That could be true, but they still go out to it. I think we're seeing more and more statistics that older people are not the ones going to the cinemas. Um, and if that's the case, that's primarily fan base of He-Man. It's not locked on this list, but I think it's going to be there. And right now on my list, I don't have anyone that's bumping off. This is a potential one, and I don't love putting it on here, but is Scary Movie 6. Now, I need to look at Naked Gun's budget, because I think it still made a profit, but I think it was still like a very tight area. Actually not too bad, but even then, like, okay, so 42 million budget, then 102 billion box office. You double that, maybe made like a small profit. I just don't know how spoof movies are gonna go. Yeah, plus the Jared Leto curse, absolutely. If they show his face in marketing, it's over for He-Man. So, Scary Movie 6 is definitely a contender. It's not for sure on the list, but I could see us in a universe where it doesn't perform well, especially too if it doesn't hit. Whether it's not, if it, because there's like they're walking a tightrope here, right? Because those original Scary Movies, check out for the producers. We have the Scary Movie commentary track on there now. It will drop in June for everybody else on the Phase 3 and up tier. Um, there's some dated offensive stuff in there, right? But then there's also some stuff where it's like, oh, are they gonna sanitize it? So it's like you gotta please two crowds of the people that want a parody and just everything's off the limits, but also like you still gotta update it a little bit where there's some stuff in that scary movie you couldn't do because it was maybe punching down. I think why the scary movies I still watch them pretty much fine that it is because I think they kind of punch down at everybody from orientation to white to black to money situations. I think they just go for the throat, right? But there's some stuff, if you were to say, probably one in particular, like the Dewey character, it's like, yeah, that's something that might not fly. Even if there's some funny moments, it's like, that's tough. So I could see a lot of people, I don't care about this. I think it also depends on the franchises they're spoofing. I think that plays a big role into the success of this. But I think people have seen a lot of bad spoofs, right? So that's tough thing. So scary movie could be there. I will put this there too. I don't like doing it. Supergirl. I don't think it's for sure on my list, but that's a contender. Right now I think my 5 locks and then 2 contenders. Let's see. Minions and Monsters, which is weird they're not having those 3 minions be the main characters anymore, but I digress. Ooh. I guess not Evil Dead Burn. I was going to put that there. I think Evil Dead Burn is just going to underwhelm if they don't move it. I think it's going to not hit the heights of, because what the other one was like 100 million, right? I just searched this Evil Dead Rise. Let's see. 147 on a 1519. I still think now, granted, I guess it could have like a 20 years later situation just completely drop off, but no, I still think it could do better in other places, and I think they're setting up for failure there, but I still think it'll make a profit because I think they're making these movies for cheap, which they should, right? Super Troopers 3, I think that has to be a cheap movie, right? So I think they're fine. Here's another one for how much it costs, and again, I will be there because I'm a fan of this stuff. The girls are a fan, and I said this before. It's a contender right now, but it's Coyote versus Acme. What did that Looney Tunes blew up the earth? Did like 15, 12 million? One of the lowest draft things in Geekverse history. Granted, you have John Cena and some other people in here. It's written by James Gunn, but like, I think Looney Tunes is also one of those brands that I don't know if people care about, right? I'll be there. It's like what I said to people. It's like, you better fucking show up. For everybody that made a big deal about, and I'm not saying you should not have made a big deal about this. Absolutely. I don't want films get rid off for tax purposes because that sucks for the town. It sucks for the artists. But I'm saying also all the people that tweet about it, made a big deal about it, X, Y, and Z, fucking go see this then. I'm not saying that's gonna, I think it's still a smaller bubble, but you better go see this goddamn movie. Let's see. So in September, this is a tough one that I've been thinking about. Practical Magic 2 is out, but that's not the one. Resident Evil. This is tough for me because Resident Evil, that last one, because I just searched this up recently, Raccoon City, it was like low. It made its budget back, but so it had a budget of 25 million, but made 42. That is some low fucking, right? We talked about this with Silent Hill, right? That's the last time I brought this up. Was Silent Hill made more sense to me because I feel like, sure, it's trying to make a comeback, they're remaking some of these games, but I think it's those movies weren't as well loved and big. And it's also like Resident Evil that have consistently had games almost every 3 years, maybe more. It was a COVID movie. Okay. So was it actually, let's see, when did that come out? 2021. It was, Mike, but it still was 2021 COVID, where I'm not saying every movie is like this, but like Venom was making lots of money. No Way Home was, right? So it's like, if people cared enough, people would still come out and see it, right? You're right. I'll definitely put the asterisk on it that would maybe cost it some, but if people want to see it, they want to. And with Resident Evil, like, this is kind of like I was talking about Flanagan and Exorcist, like, this to me is the last shot. And I hope not, especially replaying the games. I will talk about some of the movies when we get there, the retros. All those Mila movies, why the fuck? And Raccoon City apparently does this, but a terrible job. Like, why the fuck aren't they actually like adapting these games? Talk about Wuthering Heights. Why aren't they adapting these games? Like Resident 6, like, it is Mission Impossible with zombies. Why aren't they adapting this? And you don't gotta do them beat by beat, but it's like these movies they did with Paul W. Anderson, and that fucking Christ, Paul W. Anderson, fuck me. That was like last week when I saw that report of they're doing House of Dead, and he like. I don't get it, man. I'm looking forward to watching all these Resident Evil movies because I'm in a mood, and I think they're going to be very fun retrospectives. I think when we have to talk about middling to bad movies. And I think that's why lots of times when people, I feel like most times patrons, 75% of the times we've been made to watch some of my patrons as bad movies, because I think people like when we talk about the shit, right? And we just get into it. I'm not looking forward for the film, like the watching of those, more the reviews of them, right? And Paul W. Anderson, I'm not gonna say he's like Yule Bow levels, but like who is trying to like he's made some petition to direct this one now, but like he is, I I don't even know direct for, but like it's just like a stamp of this ain't gonna be good. It's a guy that like, how do you get work? I don't know. I guess like smaller budget, probably good timing. Maybe he's a good guy too, and that's great, right? Happy for me as a career. But when I saw they're doing House of Dead, so it's like one, because they finally, whoever's in charge of this was like, we should Resident Evil, massive franchise that's literally in its best years now. Since 7 has revitalized, 8's the best selling game. I've not seen the hype for Resident Village, like, or Resident Evil Requiem in a long time. Like it is palpable in the gaming community right now. People are, fucking Leo S. Kennedy is back, but still like people are excited for that game. This is the time, and they were smart. This is the time to do that. But it's just so funny. It's like, okay, Zach Krager gets it. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to do House of Dead. Okay. And what I'm saying here is Isabel Merced. I could be wrong, because this is the thing, right? I understand there was a couple weeks ago or months ago when Leo said this, right? They asked like, oh, what's a mistake do you think some actors are doing? And he's like, well, I see some actors that get some name or some notoriety, and then they're in a bunch of stuff, right? And it almost like lessens those potential success rates for those projects because they can see all the time, right? It's like that quote I say about Denzel when he says like, he told Michael B. Jordan, like, don't have social media because if they can see you on the weekdays, they won't pay for you on the weekends, right? Maybe some truth, maybe not, but whatever. I think that with Merced, like maybe it's a case of this is all she's getting offered, but she was in Supergirl, she was in Last of Us. There was another thing, I guess like Madam Web, not so much, but still like at least an IP. And then I thought there was one other thing. She had this streak of like getting all these projects announced that were really good. Isabella, I'm telling you, don't do this. Don't. Sometimes it's worth the pass on a project. Start a podcast, get another role, wait till Hawk Girl, like you get that movie or spinoff. Like this is not the way to go. I would be fine if it was House of Dead with somebody else. Like, okay, there's a chance you've seen a script you could break out. Sure. With Paul W. Anderson, what are you doing? So to go full circle, will Resident Evil be a bomb? I'm going to put in the contenders because I don't know with that brand. This is its last shot. I don't want it to be. I want this to blow up and then try again and even adapt some game stuff. I would love that. Even though if Zach Krager's not doing game stuff, it's just the idea of if this does well, they might look at Resident Evil as a bigger IP and let's take some better care of it, right? Like what Disney and or Century Studios did with Alien, Predator. That's what I kind of hope happens here. This can revitalize it because I do think this is its like last shot. Because I was gonna say, oh, you could do a TV show. Well, I got canceled after one season on Netflix, right? Same thing, didn't really adapt the games and stuff, but I just don't know that movie and that franchise, and it can pull some international stuff at least, but what is it nowadays? It's odd that it should not be pulling the same as Silent Hill when this is much bigger, right? So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to hope and I also just want to see budgets, right? Let's see, sequel, canceled sequels. Oh, of course, this fucking guy. Director Joanne Roberts stated if there's a sequel to Raccoon City, he would like to adapt the story of Code Veronica, referenced in the film of Ashford Twins. Fucking Christ. I love Code Veronica. I'm waiting for that remake. And interesting. And that's what I mean, like, Resident Evil 7 and Village. You can easily, like, how do you not cast Rhea Ripley as fucking Lady D and go make a fucking $500 million, you know? What are we doing here? Let's see. So Zach Krager, I just want to look under. Okay, yeah. So Zach Krager, what was the budget? Barbarian had to be a small budget, right? Let me just take a look here because that's where I think this will help me from if it's in the list or not. So weapons, I know it was a hit, obviously. I'm just wanting to see what it usually comes in at around a budget as a budget. So weapons was 38 and then this was 4.5. That's great. My hope is, and especially because like the cast, right? Like I shouldn't have closed that. Like Austin Abrams, like he's becoming a star, but he's not like, I don't think he's driving up the fucking price ticket, right? Like if anything, that's Zach Krager now, rightly so. Let's see. 2026 film. I just want to see who else is in here. Movie. Da, 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 da. Oh, I love it. Fake posters. They're even, some of these places are even using the Raccoon City poster as the poster. Cast. Paul Walter Hauser, same thing. Zach Cherry, Austin Abrams. And then, yeah, so there's not many people in here. My hope is, if it's obviously because it's the IP and it could be a bit bigger, I wouldn't mind if you get like a Genesis or Mr. X final boss battle. That'd be great. I think 50 should be the cap here, though. I think if you're starting to get past 50, you're getting in dangerous territory for a Resident Evil movie. I wouldn't recommend that. Like, as far as just success rate, I don't care if it, whatever budget needs to get a great movie, great. But I'm hoping with that cast and Gregor's pass that he can kind of keep it to a certain amount so it can have a, hey, even if it makes 150, that's a profit, right? So we'll keep it in contenders for now, but I'm not locking that yet. Let's see. So in September, Forgotten Island, no. Social Reckoning, nah, it'll be modestly budget. Digger, you never know, because Tom Cruise could have like a huge, like whatever, paycheck, but I don't think so. Clayface, I don't think so. Oh, those are two that I skimmed over, and I should put them here. Mortal Kombat 2 and Street Fighter 2. Now, granted, those could be lower budgets, but what was the Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat 2021. What was the budget of that? Obviously became HBO Max's biggest movie of the year, right? Which was crazy times, but let's take a look. How much time I got here? Okay, I got some time here. 55 million. And then box office 84. Also, that was peak COVID, April. That's when they're releasing the day and date movies. And Street Fighter, I'm gonna keep them there. They're pretty similar. I could just see both films not doing great. For some reason, I could see Street Fighter doing better because I think it has more like memeability. I'm not just saying that because, you know, like the big dog Roman Reigns and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes are in that movie. I just feel that there's much more room for error in Mortal Kombat because, or no, other way around. I think there's much more room for growth, and also because it could just be Minecrafty where people go to have a good time. Let's just look at the dates, right? Okay, so this is September. So we have Resident Evil, Practical Magic 2, How to Rob a Bank, Avengers Endgame release, and then when is Street Fighter? Oh, Street Fighter is October. I don't know why I'm reading out September. I'm a fucking idiot. Bigger, The Social, Reckoning, Other Mummy, Street Fighter, Clayface, Wife and Dog, Shaun the Sheep. I think even with, now I can bring it back, not a fucking idiot. September and October, there's not really like looking like a comedic, maybe How to Rob a Bank, but like a comedic over the top movie. I'm not saying Street Fighter is going to do well. I'm just saying in juxtaposition of Mortal Kombat, which let me see. I think that's in March, right? Okay, so Mortal Kombat. No, it's May. Okay, so May you got Devil's Wear Prada. That's gonna do gangbusters, and then it ends with Mando. So it's right. It's a good slot. Mortal Kombat. It's kind of right in the middle, and Mando and Devil's Wear Prada has different audiences. I just think like I love Carl Urban, but I think that's just a thing where people might see like even if it's like stupid like Andrew Schultz and people follow his comedy like. I think there's just a better potential. So if they both don't make it, maybe I'd put Mortal Kombat, but maybe they will. Let's see. Okay, so then Shaun the Sheep, no way. November 6th, Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat. No, I think he'll still make a profit. It looks awful. Dr. Zilla. Godzilla -0. No, they make that for cheap, for maybe some bad reasons. Ebenezer, I think that'll be cheap because like. Let me just quickly look at all the budgets. Like, and I don't think Johnny Depp is, in my opinion, probably like, I need a massive fucking. I think he's just happy to be in a fucking wide release North American movie coming up. But I feel like X, Pearl, Maxine were all pretty cheap, right? Pearl. They don't even list the budget. That's not on Wikipedia. That's odd. So, so Maxine just as a budget was under 10 million. I mean, 22 million. Oh, and I love Maxine. That's brutal. X, I don't see a budget. Then Pearl. So let's say they're all around that, like 5 to 10. Like Pearl couldn't be that much, right? So I think Carol's fine. unless Depp is asking for a big price tag, but I think it's fine. Let's see here. Hunger Games, no, I think it will. I think Hunger Games will profit. I think that last one did, and I think with the bigger prequel situation, bigger characters back, you got fucking Hutcherson and Lawrence back. I think you're fine there. I think there's a chance of Hex, but I'm not strong enough to put there. Meet the Parents for Faulkner-Law. I think will be budgeted right, so no. We'll never know about the money, but Narnia, I could, even though I'm wearing my, directed by Greta Gerwig thing, I'm not saying it's gonna bomb. I'm saying that's like a Michael thing where I could see it being huge, but we won't know the numbers. I could also see people being like, I don't really give a shit about Narnia anymore, So Mike says Hunger Games is gonna be big. How big, Mike? Do you think top 10 big? Do you think what was the last one? Hunger Games Battle Song. It's like what, isn't like 300 something, right? It's 350. So, you know what? I could with what's coming back. I agree with you now, Mike. I think it's gonna be big. I could see like half a Billy. I really could. And then let's see, December, Violent Night 2. No, it should be fine. Jumanji 3, that'll be big. Avengers, Doomsday, Angry Birds 3, maybe. But I think I'm happy with my list here. So let me screen share it. You had in the top 10 your top list. Okay. I was gonna at some point, if I ever have Evergreen, I probably won't do it now because I feel like it's not gonna be like, I want maybe one day as a small topic, I'd like to go over your guys' list and talk about what I agree and disagree with, because I didn't think about that with my lists. I think if there's a couple disappointments that could happen, so I could see it. I would say still no, but I still definitely could see it. Let me do a screen share here then. So bombs. So I'll have what I just called bombs. Let's see here, bombs. Okay, so right now I need all of them. But I have my contenders here of what I think could bomb. So I got The Bride, Project Hail Mary, Disclosure Day, Mando, Master of the Universe, Scary Movie 6, Supergirl, Coyote vs. Acme, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and How to Make a Killing. So I got to cut 2 from this list, hey? I think to make it easy, I'll cut How to Make a Killing because I'm hoping it's budgeted okay. I would just think that it's like, maybe the stars run up, right? And now I gotta cut one of these. So just be saying like, what do I think will be the most successful based on the budget? I don't know. Great. Let's go with the locks. I'm sorry to do this, Maggie. I hope I'm wrong. Bride's a lock. I'm gonna say Mando's a lock for me now. Master of the Universe is a lock. And this is what I think, right? Could change. So I guess I'm not fully ready to lock Disclosure Day. I think I'm going to lock Hail Mary. I'm sorry, Taylor. I feel like, because right now what I got left is Disclosure Day, Scary Movie 6, Supergirl, Coyote vs. Acme, Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I'm happy I got the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter there because they're definitely both making it. It's just, actually, did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, we're good. So I think the 2 I'm between, really 3, but I'm going to keep it there because I still think people could go, I don't care too much about it. The 3rd was Disclosure Day. Thought about making that a not lock, but no. I think the real battle for me is Supergirl versus Resident Evil. And it's just, we need to know, obviously, it's for me, it's the budget on both of them, right? Because I feel like Resident Evil could, because what did Weapons end up making? And I don't think it's going to make Weapons money, because I know they'll be like, oh, from the director of Weapons, and it's an IP. Weapons had a great fucking hook. They had a great hook. Grid Word of Mouth, 270, right? I feel like, let me just see actually the numbers for Resident Evil, the old movies. I know that's not going to be completely a fair comparison because those are old movies, but still, just hear me. I just want to see what they ever peaked at, right? Okay, so worldwide box office. Okay, so Resident Evil: The Final Chapter in 2017 peaked at 314. 2010 was Afterlife with 295, and then 2012 Retribution was 240. So it seems like its high ends beat somewhere in the two. I feel like right now, It could go higher, but I'm gonna say its ceiling is like 200 to 215. Want to go higher? Maybe good word of mouth. It does great. But let's say 200. But if that has like let's say it's 50 million budget, so it makes 100. We're not going to talk marketing just for this a situation. Exercise. That's what I was looking for. So $150 million of pure profit. Again, this situation. I know it's not pure profit. They split it, marketing, whatever, but just here, right? Where Supergirl, is there even a rumored budget? Because I thought I saw a rumored budget of 200 million. Again, it's rumored, but Supergirl budget 2026. He's debunked that it's 200 million. I don't know what Ellie's doing out there. Oh, like what? Oh, I'm just trying to think what Supergirl is going to be budgeted as, right? So like if they could get to a dream, they get like the dream number. To me, like if it's like 100, like 150 is still good, but if they get like 100 million, that'd be phenomenal, right? And then I would, because I think its ceiling could be when Taylor says Thunderbolts number, that's like what, 350 to 400, which could be good with 100 million. Not great. They want it to be bigger, but I think if they're shooting for a certain goal, which I hope they are, could be good, right? So it's just what's going to be more profitable. I feel like I have to bump Resident Evil off. I feel like I have a low, because I think I have a higher risk of Resident Evil or Supergirl having a bigger budget and more stuff we didn't know about and some situations in summer and it bombing versus Resident Evil having that 50, or even I think I got a better chance of, oh yeah, Resident Evil only cost 25 million. And like, oh, that's awesome. Or 30 million. Like, I think that situation where Supergirl has a bigger chance to have a bigger budget and do poor in the summer versus Resident Evil also having a bigger chance of having a lower budget than I'm giving it right now. So for my list, do I just do that? Does it format it? There we go. We'll do that. Okay. And then maybe do I have time? I'm going to see if I have time, but I'm going to go over Mike's list because he sent in, and obviously when you send in Patreon, when you are Patreon send stuff in, we give you the priority here. So I got I got 8 minutes. So we'll see. I was going to organize them, but maybe I won't have time. Maybe that's another time, but I feel pretty good with this list. So my list is bombs. Again, not like lowest of the year, just like what they'll make for their budget versus that. And same thing too, I could be wrong. Scary Movie 6 could be a super cheap budget, right? So I'm just going with what it could do. Like, yeah, that's tough. I'll leave it there for now, but honestly, that would be like 10. If I could do that, yeah, let's do 10. Maybe I could quickly do this. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay, so right now for my list, I have The Bride, Mando, Master of the Universe, Project Hail Mary, Disclosure Day, Supergirl, Coyote versus Acme, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Scary Movie 6. Also, how much did they pay for? I'm not gonna look up, but let's see. Coyote, Acme, how much did it cost to buy? Let's see if that's gonna quickly. Because how much did they spend? Approximately 50 million. Okay. So that's definitely at the bottom, actually. Or no, that's at like I put that as like maybe the second top, to be honest. Because maybe it breaks out. I don't know. That's tough. But let me read Mike's list. Because yeah, like I said, I will maybe try to organize it, but I'm running out of time here. So I might not get a chance. But let's see. Where are you here, Mike? Okay, so if you comment. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Oh, that's why it had I didn't know they came together. Your top whatever movie it says my top 19 most likely to bomb. I think it most top 10. I was like 19. Now it makes good sense. Still think will be a trash fighting against Wuthering Heights. Yeah, definitely. I think I got that vibe enough because I don't need it to like I still have problems getting one. I don't need to be like Saltburn like sexual like to that level. I can enjoy that for the thrill of all this crazy shit going on here, but I don't need that with every one of Emerald Fennell's movie. But okay, so whoa, Mike, holy shit! So okay, so your one, you put Screen 7 on there. That I don't think so. I think you'll be wrong on that one. I think it's going to because the last budget was like what Scream 5. Let's see. Yeah, but Mike, I hate to break it to you, Budget of 24 million, box office 38. This is going to do better than that one with Nev coming back. There's no way that's bombing. That's not bombing. I can't be with you on that one. I think it's still going to do pretty well. This is a crazy one. Number 9. Tell me your reason why here, Mike. Dune 3, if released. What? I'm guessing you're subscribing to the fact that you think that like Doomsday will just eat it all up. I can't say it's going to bomb. I think they'll still make a profit. I still think it could take a hit. Maybe it does have a Barbenheimer. To me, I could never put that list. That's crazy. Project Hail Mary, okay, we're on there. Hoppers, you think there. Okay, I feel like that early tracking for Hoppers is pretty good. If it's like, do we got a budget on that yet? Hopper, because Mike, this is one thing, Mike, I'll say, like, when that stuff comes on during football, the girls are, I got the movie from 1978. What was the budget of that? $6 million, made 78. Great for Hopper. Oh, Burt Reynolds, fantastic. Let's see. Is it Pixar, right? Why is this not coming up? Oh, because I put Hoopers. Fucking Christ. So right now, budget of 150, tracking 50 to 60 for opening weekend. I think it's going to be okay, Mike. Whenever those come on, my kids are locked in. It's going to hit during spring break as well. I think Hoppers is going to be okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. Hexed, you could be right. It is a big budget. Yeah, like Hexed, we haven't seen much, so you could be right. That one I thought about putting, but because I haven't seen enough, I just put that in like the category of like the TBD. Hoppers you could, but I just think that it is a big budget, but I think it's already tracking better than Elio, and Elio finished at, what, can I just open my fucking page here? Oh my God. It's because I'm running my work browser as well too. That's probably why some of the things are slower for me today. Elio. 154 million, and I think it can make that. So I'm iffy on that one. I can see you including it though. And then the 4 were aligned here: Mandalorian Grogu, Supergirl, Disclosure Day, and Master of the Universe. Yeah, that could be a top one because supposedly it costs a lot of money, right? So if I got 2 minutes to make my list here, yeah, same thing. I would put Master next. I'll keep The Bride at number 1. Even though I think Coyote vs. Acme could be that. Project Hail Mary, Disclosure Day, Supergirl. Yeah, I feel good with the rest of this list. So yeah, my list, what I think: The Bride, Coyote vs. Acme, Master of the Universe, Mandalorian Grogu, Project Hail Mary, Disclosure Day, Supergirl, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Scary Movie 6. We'll see, because I got to revisit both of these at the end of the year when we do the top 10 box office. Also, we'll have the draft with Mike's results, but then we'll have this as well. It's going to be a curious year. So, yeah, not many people are thinking of Acme, Mike, and that's why it's going to bomb. That's exactly why it's going to bomb. But thank you to everyone that watched. Thank you to everyone in live chat. Yeah, like I said, I will be back on the Friday. Excuse me. Or the pre-record Trash told you. And then next Tuesday, let me look at the calendar just to make sure I'm going to be back for the next Tuesday. Make sure we got nothing going on here in the Geek First land. Yeah, next Tuesday, as far as the eye can see, I should be back Tuesday and Thursday, 11 a.m. PST. We should be getting back to like the regular scheduled programming. So yeah, we'll be back, and I promise you it will not be boring.